Hello.
Hi,
Greetings.
good evening.
Y-
Do we hear each other well?
yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. You're Philip or Filip?
Yes. Philip, it's the
Philip?
same as like with P and H, just it's different spelling
It's
here
the
in
it's
Slovakia.
it's probably the correct spelling, right? What's up with this PH business?
Well, I don't know, it's just the pronunciation that English people came up with.
Yep.
I think Philip originated in Greece, I think.
Oh, okay. And I think it was in the Bible too. I don't know
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
It was one of the apostles, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know if one of the apostles. I don't know much about Christianity, but I think it was mentioned there. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I started recording like right when you joined, just so you know. So
Okay.
I'm ready to jump in. If you are, you ready? You ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
I hope. That's
Okay. For the viewers at home, we're jumping right in. Uh, no introduction needed to the show. Okay, you might need an introduction. I'm Dan. This is Philip. And the point of these videos is to offer a um kind of a casual typing, a free casual typing, where uh, I tell you what my opinion is, and then you can tell me if you've been typed before and what you got, and we can talk about it. So yeah, that's
yeah.
basically it. I don't know if you have you seen have you seen any of my other videos before up to this point?
Yes, I've seen some videos. I've
Okay.
seen the one where you try to see the difference between. Well, there's the title ENTP or INTP,
Mm-hmm.
and for example, you asked him to describe with animals like in, something with plasma. I think it was,
Oh, plasma. It was a question about
or
plasma.
I'm not sure. You asked him to explain this thing to small children, children using animals.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which episode it was.
Yeah, I kind of remember it. I will go find that episode and link it in the thing for whoever's watching this so they can
Yeah.
see what you're referring to.
I'm not sure if it was plasma, but it was something scientific.
Okay. So yeah, why don't you just jump right in and like tell me kind of um, what your process of self-discovery has been up to this point.
Well, I first came in touch when our informatics teacher gave us those tests, and I got really interested because I saw some like connections with real people. So I know it's like pseudoscience, but it
Mm-hmm.
has a lot of truth to it. But the test was like the 16 personalities, well, where they don't get deeper into cognitive functions and
Mm-hmm.
those things. So I started looking up more of those tests, and I got should I say what I got or
No. Don't tell me. Don't tell me
okay?
till the end.
I got different. I got different
Right.
results.
Right. Then that's normal. I think that's been my experience. Is a lot of people get a lot of different results, and um, once you understand more about the cognitive function stuff, it makes it easier to start to figure out closer where you are. Because if this person or this test says you're this and this one says you're that, you can start to
Yeah.
find where there's like patterns between what they're noticing. So, so there's been cases where I've typed people that have been typed like 10 times before because they're still trying to
Yeah.
figure it out. Um, so, yeah. Well, so let me ask you this. Would you say that you are more proactive or reactive?
Like reactive to social situations, or well,
Choose your own
I'm
adventure as to
usually
what I mean.
well, I'm usually in the background, but when there is something like really exciting or what interests me going on, I just join in and I can talk about it
Hmm.
for a long time. But usually I'm just in the background listening or watching from afar.
Okay. But like, what about what about in just your day-to-day life? Like not referring to other people, but like situation comes up, I don't know. I mean, how far in advance are you planning things out? How do you like to plan a lot out, or do you prefer to um, have kind of outs, like windows open or something, so that you can get out of the situation?
Um, well, I usually like to have things like more open, more
Mhm.
possibilities,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I sometimes just plan out the most possible ways or futures. It's
Mhm.
not my
Mhm.
first language, so I'm just gonna get stuck in some sentences.
No worries. No worries.
So, like, I like to keep my options open, but I do have some like bigger possibilities that I fantasize about
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
make smaller plans.
Okay. And uh, what's your relationship with architecture or creative stuff?
Um, I'm not really into architecture
Mhm.
because I get frustrated when there are too many details.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I actually like music, and
Mhm.
details don't bother me in music. I just actually like to discover new details and like new pieces when I just listen to the same song
Mhm.
over again and find new parts of the songs that I didn't notice before.
Mhm. Mhm. So what do you do? What do you do with music? Do you play an instrument? Do you play multiple instruments, or do you just listen, or what do you do?
Well, I play guitar.
Mhm.
I started learning piano, but it's just for fun. Guitar, I attended classes, so I play guitar a lot better than piano. Um, I don't know. I usually play like I started playing classical and then switched to electric guitar, and I enjoy playing metal and rock music the
Nice.
most.
Cool. I see your Metallica poster in the back as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And I see Vader. And I can't tell what's the middle. What is in the middle poster?
Iron Maiden poster.
Oh, it's an Iron Maiden. Yeah. Cool. Um, and what is your philosophy in relation to music, if you have any? If you have a philosophy related to music, what is it?
I I don't think I really ever thought about philosophy of music. I just try to find something new, creative, like new sounds that no one's ever heard before, and
Mhm. Mhm.
just put together parts that haven't been put together before or aren't as frequently put together. Something that people don't listen to. Like Metallica is really popular, but actually, currently I don't listen to very popular music. I just like to
Mhm.
find new, smaller bands that
Mhm.
make
Mhm.
their own stuff.
Mhm. What is it that you like about smaller bands?
Um, well, smaller bands often are not afraid to experiment
Mhm.
and just do what they like. If I started my own band, I just do what I like and see
Mhm.
if people catch on.
I see.
Maybe it wouldn't be as as successful like commercially, but at least I would do something I really like,
Mhm.
and it's myself.
So, would you say that one of your philosophies is that selling out is a bad thing?
Well, not really. There are many factors to it because
Yeah.
if you sell out, like you don't really believe that music is as good as you could make it, but
Mhm.
it makes a lot of money. Maybe the maybe the point of the band members was to make the money and just put it into charity or something. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't see the background really. I
So,
don't see their intentions.
I see. So you can't make necessarily a universal judgment because you respect the many possible situations people might be in.
Yeah,
Okay, that
I
makes
need the
sense.
situations. I need to know what was behind it,
Do you
what
ha-
led them.
do you hold any universal judgments of any kind?
Mm, maybe one judgment I do like. That's one I'm mostly sure about most of the
Yeah.
time. Like, uh, gathering knowledge and like learning about the universe is like the most important thing in life for me, and maybe for many people. Like uh, that's pretty much it. That's the only thing like I believe in.
Now, is that only true for you, or is that true for? So, in other words, is it a universal judgment, or is it just a personal perspective for your life?
I I usually talk about it as a universal judgment, but I know for some people it may not be their case. But I think gaining knowledge is the best thing for anyone, and anyone can do.
What do you think about people who create, who speak in universal judgment kind of terminology? What do you think is? What do you think of that way of thinking?
Um, it's it's often really annoying because often those people can't. It's hard to change their mind, and they can be oftentimes wrong. And well, it's nice to be open to different things, different options, and just talk about it with other people, and then come to a decision. You may come with an idea, and all people have to put together if all people have to judge if it is a good idea.
Right. Would anyone ever accuse you of not shutting up?
When I talk about things that excite me, I guess anyone could accuse me of it.
But I mean,
So,
that does that would that does that what you're talking about happen often enough that someone would accuse you of blabbing too much?
mm, almost never.
Almost
So,
never. Okay.
almost never.
Okay, that's useful. Um. What is your natural ability to understand like business concepts?
Mm, natural ability about understanding business concepts,
Yeah, like your aptitude.
I hmm, I don't know actually much about business or these things.
Okay.
So
Um. How good of an argument is it if I refer to the opinion of an expert?
if it's if it's still an opinion, like is it has a bigger value than if someone just regularly but not an expert say it. But if it has some proof, some background with proof to it, then it gains its validity, its
Okay.
value.
How good are you at like putting together furniture and things like that?
When I have to put something together, I'm usually pretty good at it. Like, um, I I don't really need to look up how to put it together. You just intuitively know. Just
Okay. So
most
you're not
people
really like reading the instructions and like going step one. You're just going and like I'm gonna go work on it.
sometimes I look at the instructions like after some steps I've done just to make sure that I did it right.
Okay.
But I usually just most people I know don't use instructions as well. So.
Sure. Sure.
It depends on the thing. If something really important, I just stick with the instructions. If it's like really important and expensive, for example.
Right. That makes sense. The more delicate or precise it has to be, probably the more you have to look at the instructions, right?
Yes,
You
so
don't
just
want
to
to
make
risk
sure.
the
Yeah.
device
Yeah.
doing something. Yeah. Okay. How are you feeling? How do you feel right now?
Um, Actually, a bit stressed
Really? Okay. What's got you
um,
stressed?
because I've never talked to like about those things with a foreign person over the
Oh,
internet, and I'm not using it. I'm not even using my first language.
right. Well, your English is. I mean, it's just fine if you're like
Yeah, I guess I
wondering.
can get around with it,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
but still, it's just about that I'm not used to it. So
well, do you drink? Do you drink alcohol at all? Are you old enough to
uh,
drink? I don't know how old you. I don't know how.
uh,
I haven't asked how old you are, so I haven't.
yeah, I'm 18.
Okay, so never mind then. Although in some
Here it
countries,
is.
18 is old enough. Is it? Is it?
Yes, it here it is old
Okay,
enough,
okay.
but only from time to time, like once in a few months when
Mhm,
a friend has party.
mhm, mhm. Okay. What? Do you mind if I ask what country you're in?
Slovakia,
Oh,
in the
okay.
center of Europe.
That's awesome. And how how would you say Slovakia has done with COVID?
Uh, we we were actually the first country here in Europe that made like the whole nationwide tests
Hmm.
about COVID,
That's really smart.
and everyone who was positive had to stay home in quarantine,
Hmm.
and other people like could move around but
Hmm.
still have to wear the masks. And then there was the second round, the second wave of testing, and now they're planning the third wave because there were some protests against the government.
Oh, what were the protests against the government?
Well, they were mad about the corona situation because the government is restricting us with some things. But
Mm,
when first the restrictions came in spring, people like didn't follow the restrictions, so that's
mm,
why we're in the situation we're in.
right.
So a big part in this part, like big part of the problem are people's uh, what is the word for it?
Extroverts?
Uh, no,
Ah,
I'm looking for it.
no worries.
Uh, okay, I didn't find it. I just don't want to waste time.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We have I'm sure you're aware of our legendary stupidity in America. Um, it's known around the world. Um,
Yes,
yes.
people on Reddit always make fun of it.
Yeah,
But
I'm here and I make fun of it. Our stupidity knows no bounds. um, but I've done my part to not spread the virus, so and I'm still doing okay because I listen to scientists. Big
thumbs up
brain,
for that.
big brain right here,
Yeah,
wearing a mask, quarantining, super big brain moment, right? You would. It's crazy
yeah.
that would be a political thing or that would be controversial. It's crazy to me because it's a disease. Like it's a virus. Like, do you want to get the virus or not? Well, you know what I mean? Like, I, I don't. Like, you can go,
Well,
oh, I can't see it, therefore it doesn't exist if you want, but that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? When
yeah.
it comes to medical things, like, oh my goodness.
People can't see like internet, and it is there.
Right, right. Where's the internet?
It's just flying
Around
around
us.
in waves.
It's flying over our heads. Or the I don't know. Yeah, that's a great example. Where's the internet? I don't know. There's a number of well, we could get off on political things, and then we'd start polarizing the audience. We can't be doing that.
No.
We have to be good radio, right? Anyways, so we need a good cliffhanger before I go pour my drink number two. So so here's the cliffhanger is I feel pretty confident that I can eliminate, half the types comfortably with no problem.
Okay.
So I have a theory, of course, but I do always want to dig a little deeper in part two, try to
Yeah.
make sure
Sure.
if my theory holds up. So we're gonna call it end of part A. and then I'm gonna go pour my bourbon. Bourbon number 2. Bourbon B. I'm gonna pour bourbon B
Okay.
for part B. All right. See you in part B. B is for bourbon. See you in part B.